What can I say? J-Lo, Jennifer Lopez. Wow, I owe a lot to her for my career. You can't say that like one thing made a career, but what you can say is one moment changed the trajectory of where I was going and what people thought of me and my work. She gave me my first break and my first paid job doing the On the Six album cover, which was a huge, huge break for me. And I won it over big photographers, and it was like the freak out moment of my life. But what it was is a picture that it just hit all the right chords at the time of plastering and promoting a singular project all over the world at once. And it was a single picture that kind of launched me into the future career of her. And I've shot her for 15 years in probably 60, 70, 80 times. But that first picture got me all these other opportunities. So it was what changed my career, but what made my life was a picture we took maybe 2 years later after we started to get in a rhythm and start doing a bunch of editorial. And we were shooting a cover of a men's magazine that I don't know that I was super pleased to be doing at the time, but I really enjoyed shooting her and she gave me freedom. And so anything I would shoot, and we showed up on this location and we just started playing, and it was supposed to be a take on her sexiness, her playfulness, her kind of really just young-hearted, fresh kind of approach. And so there was lots of stuffed animals, weird horses, giant play things like cubes that spelled her name and whatnot. And during the course of the shoot, there came a moment where she came up to me and she said, "I hear you're trying to buy your house in Bel Air, and that, you're trying to just get the stuff together to do that. So, hey, let's take a picture and let's start buying a house." And in a private moment, she took off her top, turned towards a wall, and gave me this shot of her in this pink ruffly bikini panties that ultimately ended up being kind of the shot that changed my life, where it became one of these shots that sold worldwide all over the place. And it allowed me to actually, and I don't know if that was her true intention and she really knew, but it actually, through the sales and syndication of it being on a calendar we did, all of these kind of moments put together enough money for me to make a down payment on a house I was renting. And at the time before this, I didn't have 5 cents to my name. And all of a sudden I was the owner of a house in Bel Air. So that picture, which, down the road has become quite an iconic picture, and the original magazine it was done for, it was bought by many, many other magazines to be cover and whatnot. And it's something that still shows up like on Venice Boulevard and places when I'm running around LA, shows up all over the place. But what I remember it as is it gave me enough to set a base, to set forward my future of what would be setting up homes that people came to shoot at instead of going to studios. So what I did in my Bel Air house, the instant I got it, was to put a silver plaque out in front of the house. And it just had the initials for the house that J-Lo or Jennifer built. It was just those initials on a silver plaque. And no one knew what it meant, but it meant something to me. And I ended up staying in that Bel Air house, creating hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and thousands of pictures. A ton of celebrities came up there. And when it came time to move, when I sold the house with everything in it, the art, the furniture, and I literally just walked out with my computer, a few little things, and at the last minute, at 3 o'clock in the morning when I was leaving the house, I took that silver plaque off and just put it in a little plastic baggie and put it in a drawer where it sits to this day, all these years later, and I'll have that memory of the house that J-Lo built, and I will appreciate it for my whole life because it started my version of the factory West Coast, which was my dream. And it started in Bel Air, and I've since then built 5 houses that continue to do the same thing, create a cool, comfortable, safe, fun environment to shoot celebrities in where they can be themselves, which is always what makes me happy.